Silence in the Min estate isn't peaceful. It's a threat. It's the sound of a predator holding its breath before it strikes. I knew the rules. Rule number 1, be invisible. Rule number 2, never enter the West Wing. Rule 3, never, ever steal. But hunger doesn't care about rules. Hunger is a beast that eats your pride first, then your fear. It was 2:04 a.m. I was huddled on the cold marble floor of the pantry, shoving cold leftover Hanwoo beef into my mouth with shaking hands. I thought I was alone. I thought the camera loop hack I set up was working. I was wrong. The door swung open, light flooded in, blinding me. I looked up. Standing there, silhouetted like the Grim Reaper in a bespoke Italian suit, was Kang Min-ho, the dragon of Seoul, the man who signed my paychecks and ordered hits on his enemies before breakfast. He looked at the food in my hand. He looked at the crumbs on my uniform. Then he looked at the space behind me, behind a stack of flour sacks, where my 5-year-old son, Sam, was hiding. Kang Min-ho raised his gun. "Give me one reason," he whispered, his voice like grinding stones, "why I shouldn't end you right now." Wait, pause, freeze frame. I know what you're thinking. Girl, you are dead, you are cooked, you are finished. And honestly, I thought so too. But this isn't a story about how I died. This is a story about how a piece of cold beef and a terrified little boy brought the Korean Mafia to its knees. But before we see if Min-ho pulls that trigger, do me a favor. If you've ever had to do something crazy just to survive, hit that like button. And if you want to see this Mafia king become a dad to a kid that ain't even his, subscribe. Don't be like me in that pantry. Don't get caught lacking. Now, back to the gun. To understand why I was stealing scraps like a rat, you got to understand how I got here. My name is Amara Jones. I'm from Chicago, South Side. 6 months ago, I was a graphic designer with a decent apartment in a 401k. Then, my ex, Marcus, gambled it all away. Not just his money, mine. He took out loans in my name. He got involved with sharks. And when they came to collect, he vanished. Left me with a mountain of debt, a 5-year-old son, and a target on my back. I ran. I took what was left, grabbed Sam, and flew to the one place Marcus wouldn't look, Seoul. I had a cousin here teaching English. She said she could help. But by the time we landed, she'd been transferred to Busan. I was stranded. No visa, no work permit, no money. Just me and Sam. We lived in a goshiwon, a closet-sized room, for 3 weeks. Then I saw the ad on the dark web forum. Cleaning staff needed, private estate, live-in, cash payment, NDA required. It was sketchy, it was dangerous, it was perfect. I applied, I got the job, but there was one problem: no children allowed. The estate was a fortress, no guests, no family. So I smuggled him in, inside a laundry cart under a pile of dirty sheets. For 3 months I had been a maid by day and a smuggler by night, keeping a 5-year-old silent in a house full of killers. Let me tell you about the boss, Kang Min-ho. They call him the CEO in public. He runs a logistics company, but everyone knows what he really moves. He is terrifyingly beautiful, sharp jaw, eyes like obsidian, always dressed in black. He moves like water, silent, fluid. He never speaks to the staff. He looks through us. We are furniture. I thought that was good. Being invisible kept us safe. But I watched him. I saw the way he'd come home at 3 a.m., bleeding through his white shirt.
I saw the way he'd sit in the garden, staring at nothing, looking so lonely it made my chest ache. He was a monster, I knew that. But sometimes monsters are just people who were hurt too many times. Tonight, the mansion was quiet, too quiet. Min Ho was supposed to be in Incheon for a meeting. That's why I risked the pantry run. Sam was hungry. We'd been living off instant rice and water for 2 days because the head housekeeper, Mrs. Choi, was counting the inventory. I snuck down. I grabbed the beef. I didn't hear him come in. Ghosts make no sound. "Move," Min Ho commanded. "No," I whispered. I shifted to block the flour sacks. I said, "Move." "Shoot me," I said, my voice shaking, but my eyes steady. "Go ahead, but I'm not moving." Min Ho frowned. He wasn't used to defiance. He stepped forward. He reached out with his free hand and shoved me aside. I stumbled, and there was Sam, holding a toy car with one wheel missing. He looked up at the giant man with the gun. He didn't cry. Sam was a Chicago kid. He'd seen guns before. "Are you the king?" he asked. Min Ho froze. The gun lowered an inch. "What?" "Mommy says we live in a castle, and the king lives at the top. Are you him?" Min Ho looked at Sam. He looked at the ribs showing through his thin t-shirt. He looked at the hunger in his eyes. Min Ho holstered the gun. He looked at me. "You have a child in my pantry?" "I can explain." "How long?" 3 months. 3 months? He looked impressed and angry. "My security team is useless." He looked at the beef on the floor. "That meat is cold." "I didn't have time to heat it." "Disgusting." Min Ho walked to the stove. He turned it on. He grabbed a pan. "Sit," he barked at me. "Put the boy on the stool." "What are you doing?" I asked, bewildered. "If you are going to steal from me," Min Ho said, cracking an egg into the pan, "you should at least steal a hot meal. Cold beef is an insult to the chef." He cooked. The Mafia boss cooked fried rice and warmed up the beef. He put the plate in front of Sam. "Eat." Sam looked at me. I nodded. Sam ate like a wolf. Min Ho watched him. He leaned against the counter, arms crossed. "Why?" Min Ho asked. "I had nowhere to go," I said, tears finally spilling. "They took my passport. I have debt. I just wanted him to be safe." "Safe," Min Ho laughed, a dark sound. "You brought a child into a house of wolves to keep him safe?" "I'm the mother wolf," I said. "I do what I have to." Suddenly, heavy boots echoed in the hallway. Kwan, the head of security, a man who enjoyed.
Silence in the Min estate isn't peaceful. It's a threat. It's the sound of a predator holding its breath before it strikes. I knew the rules. Rule number 1, be invisible. Rule number 2, never enter the West Wing. Rule 3, never, ever steal. But hunger doesn't care about rules. Hunger is a beast that eats your pride first, then your fear. It was 2:04 a.m. I was huddled on the cold marble floor of the pantry, shoving cold leftover Hanwoo beef into my mouth with shaking hands. I thought I was alone. I thought the camera loop hack I set up was working. I was wrong. The door swung open. Light flooded in, blinding me. I looked up. Standing there, silhouetted like the Grim Reaper in a bespoke Italian suit, was Kang Min Ho, the Dragon of Seoul, the man who signed my paychecks and ordered hits on his enemies before breakfast. He looked at the food in my hand. He looked at the crumbs on my uniform. Then he looked at the space behind me, behind a stack of flour sacks, where my 5-year-old son, Sam, was hiding.
Kang Min-ho raised his gun. "Give me one reason," he whispered, his voice like grinding stones, "why I shouldn't end you right now." Wait, pause, freeze frame. I know what you're thinking. Girl, you are dead, you are cooked, you are finished. And honestly, I thought so too. But this isn't a story about how I died. This is a story about how a piece of cold beef and a terrified little boy brought the Korean Mafia to its knees. But before we see if Min-ho pulls that trigger, do me a favor. If you've ever had to do something crazy just to survive, hit that like button. And if you want to see this Mafia king become a dad to a kid that ain't even his, subscribe. Don't be like me in that pantry. Don't get caught lacking. Now, back to the gun. To understand why I was stealing scraps like a rat, you got to understand how I got here. My name is Amara Jones. I'm from Chicago, South Side. 6 months ago.
The next day, my life flipped. Min-ho fired Kwan. Security breach, he told the staff. He moved us upstairs, a suite with a view of the garden, a bed bigger than my car. He hired a doctor to check Sam. He hired a lawyer to look into my debt. He told the staff, "She is a guest, treat her as such." But it wasn't free. "You owe me," he said the first night in the suite. "I don't have money." "I don't want money. I want order." "Order? My house is cold. My staff fears me. I want you to fix it. Make this place a home. Cook, organize, and—" he hesitated. "And teach the boy manners. He eats like a savage." So I became the lady of the house, unofficially. I cooked soul food. I put flowers in the vases. I opened the curtains. And Min-ho, he changed. He started coming home earlier. He started eating dinner with us. Sam loved him. He followed Min-ho like a duckling. "Mr. Min, look at my drawing." Min-ho would look at the stick figure. "It is adequate," he would say, trying not to smile. One night, 3 weeks later, we were in the library. Sam was asleep on the rug. Min-ho was drinking scotch. "You should leave," he said suddenly. "What?" "I have cleared your debt. I have your passport. You can go back to Chicago." "Is that what you want?" I asked. He looked at me. His eyes were burning. "No," he whispered. "It is what you need. My world is dangerous, Amara. Enemies are coming." "I'm not afraid," I said, walking over to him. "You should be. I'm from the South Side, Min-ho. We don't run from a fight." I reached out and touched his hand. "Besides, Sam needs a father figure. I am a killer, Amara, not a father." "We saved us. That makes you a hero in his book." The air between us crackled. He leaned in. I leaned in. Just as our lips were about to touch, boom! The front gate exploded. Alarm screamed. Min-ho shoved me down. "Stay here." It was the Triad, a rival gang. Min-ho fought like a demon. I hid Sam in the panic room. When the smoke cleared, Min-ho was standing over the bodies of the intruders. He was bleeding from the shoulder. He looked at me. He looked wild. "They know you are here," he panted. "They think you are my weakness." "Am I?" I asked. He grabbed me and kissed me, hard, desperate, blood and ash on his lips. "Yes," he growled against my mouth. "You are my only weakness and my only strength." The next day, he made a decision. He called a meeting, the dinner of death. He brought his 5 lieutenants, the men who controlled the city. He brought me. "Wear this," he said, handing me a dress, emerald green silk. "Look like a queen." We walked into the dining hall. The lieutenants stared. A black woman? A child? Min Ho sat at the head of the table. He put Sam in the chair next to him. "This," Min Ho announced, "is Amara, and this is Sam." "Boss," one lieutenant sneered, "this is highly irregular. A maid? A foreigner?" Min Ho didn't speak. He picked up his fork. He cut a piece of steak. He placed it on Sam's plate. "Eat, son," he said. Then he looked at the lieutenant. "You have a problem with my family?" The room went silent. Family. He called us family. "No, boss," stammered the lieutenant. "Good." Min Ho stood up. "From this day forward, they are under the dragon's protection. If she speaks, it is my voice. If the boy cries, cities will burn. Understand?" "Yes, boss," they chorused. But happy endings don't come that easy in the Mafia. There was a rat. Quan, the security guard Min Ho fired. He didn't leave. He went to the triad. He told them about Sam. He told them about the secret son. They kidnapped Sam from the garden. I fell apart. "Bring him back!" I screamed at Min Ho. Min Ho didn't yell. He went silent, the scary silence. He opened his vault. He took out 2 guns. He handed one to me. "You said you are from Chicago. Do you know how to use this?" "I learned fast," I said, racking the slide. "Good. Tonight we do not negotiate. We hunt." We tore through the city. Min Ho drove. I shot out tires. We found them at the docks. Quan was holding Sam over the water. "Drop the gun, dragon, or the boy swims." Min Ho dropped his gun. "Let him go. Take me." "No!" I screamed. I didn't have a clear shot. But Sam is my son. He's smart. He bit Quan's hand hard. Quan yelled and let go. Min Ho moved. He pulled a knife from his boot. He threw it straight into Quan's chest. Quan fell into the water. We ran to Sam. We held him. Min Ho wrapped his arms around both of us. He was shaking. "Never again," he whispered. "I will never let you out of my sight." 6 months later, we are in the garden. It's a wedding. Not a Mafia wedding, a real one. I'm wearing white. Min Ho is wearing a tux that fits like a second skin. Sam is the ring bearer. He's wearing a mini tux. Min Ho takes my hands. "I spent my life in the dark. I thought power was the only light, but I was wrong. You are the light." "I love you, Min Ho, even if you are a bossy, dangerous control freak." "I am your control freak." He smiles. We kiss. The crowd cheers. I look over Min Ho's shoulder. The guards are there. The walls are still high. The world is still dangerous. But we are together. The maid, the boy, and the dragon. And nobody is ever going hungry in this house again.
They tell you the wedding is the end of the story. The credits roll, the music swells, and you fade to black. Lies. The wedding is just the intermission. The real show starts when the rice is swept up and you realize you didn't just marry a man, you married an empire. It's been 3 years since I married Kang Min Ho. 3 years of being the dragon's wife. I don't scrub floors anymore. I wear Chanel suits and sit at the head of the table. I run the charity foundation that cleans Min Ho's money, allegedly. Sam is 8 now. He speaks fluent Korean, he knows Taekwondo, and he walks around the estate like he owns it, because one day he will. But peace is a luxury we can't afford, because while Min Ho cleaned house in Seoul, he forgot about the mountains, he forgot about the ancestral seat, and he forgot about the woman who sat on it, Madame Kang, his mother, the dowager. She had been silent for 3 years, but snakes are quietest right before they strike. It arrived on a Tuesday,
Why is it always a Tuesday? A black envelope, gold leaf calligraphy. We were eating breakfast. Min-ho froze when he saw it. The color drained from his face, and this is a man who laughs at gun barrels. "What is it?" I asked, buttering Sam's toast. Min-ho didn't answer. He opened it. He read it once. Then he set it on fire with his lighter. He watched it burn in the ashtray. "Pack a bag," he said. His voice wasn't the warm husband voice. It was the boss voice. "Why? Where are we going?" "The Winter Solstice Festival, at the ancestral estate in Busan." "Your mother's house?" "Yes." "I thought we were estranged." "We were," said Min-ho, looking at the ashes. "But she has requested to meet the heir, to meet Sam." "And if we say no?" Min-ho looked at me. His amber eyes were dark. "If we say no, she will deem it an act of war. And unlike the triads, my mother does not use guns. She uses secrets, and she never misses." The ancestral estate wasn't a fortress. It was a temple, ancient, wooden, surrounded by snow-covered pines. It looked peaceful. It felt like a graveyard. We walked in, me, Min-ho, and Sam. Sam was holding my hand. "Mommy, it smells like old books," he whispered. "Shh, be polite," I said. The doors slid open. Madame Kang sat on a floor cushion at the end of the hall. She was 70, tiny, and looked fragile as a bird. But when she looked up, I saw where Min-ho got his eyes. She didn't look at Min-ho. She didn't look at me. She looked straight at Sam. "Come here, child," she said in Korean. Sam looked at me. I nodded. "Go say hello." Sam walked up. He bowed perfectly. "Hello, grandmother." Madame Kang reached out a withered hand. She touched Sam's face. She traced his jawline. Mixed blood, impure. I stepped forward. "Excuse me?" Min-ho put a hand on my arm. "Amara, wait." "No," I hissed. "She disrespects my son. We leave." Madame Kang laughed. It sounded like dry leaves rustling. "He has the dragon's face," she admitted. "But does he have the dragon's heart?" She pulled a small dagger from her sleeve. I lunged. Min-ho held me back. "Trust him," he whispered. Madame Kang held the dagger out to Sam, handle first. "Do you know what this is?" "A knife," Sam said. "It is a test. Cut the flower." She pointed to a white lily in a vase. Sam took the knife. He didn't cut the flower. He cut the stem of the thorn bush next to it. "The thorns hurt," Sam said. I removed them. Madame Kang stared at Sam. Then a slow, terrifying smile spread across her face. "Ruthless," she whispered. "Good. He can stay." She looked at me then. "The mother, we will see." We stayed for 3 days. It was psychological warfare. Madame Kang didn't try to kill me. She tried to erase me. She spoke only Korean, fast and complex, knowing my skills were basic. She organized dinners with suitable women, daughters of other chaebols, and sat them next to Min-ho. She tried to separate me from Sam, offering him lessons in the history of the clan. I was in the garden on the second night, smoking a cigarette. I picked it up again, don't judge me. Min-ho found me. "You shouldn't let her get to you," he said. "She's trying to replace me, Min-ho. She's parading heiresses in front of you like cattle." "I only see you," he said, taking the cigarette from my lips and crushing it. "Do you?" I asked. "Because you turn into a different person here. You're not my husband here. You're the heir. You bow to her." "She holds the keys to the legacy funds, billions of won. If I anger her, she cuts us off. I'm doing this for Sam's future." "Sam doesn't need billions," I snapped. "He needs parents who aren't fighting." "Amara," he grabbed my shoulders. "She's dying." I froze. "What?" "Cancer. Liver. She has 6 months. She wanted to see if Sam was ready to inherit the seat. Once she's gone, the money, the power, it all transfers to him, to us." I looked at the old house. "She's dying?" "Yes. So please, endure it. For 6 months, then we are free." I felt a pang of sympathy, just a small one. "Okay," I said, "I can endure." But I didn't know that Madame Kang wasn't planning to die. She was planning to take me with her.
It was the last night, the winter solstice feast. I went to my room to change. The door clicked shut. I tried the handle. Locked. "Min-ho?" I called out. No answer. Then I smelled it. Smoke. Not wood smoke, chemical smoke. The vents, they were pumping something in. I coughed. My head spun. "Help!" I pounded on the door. "Fire!" I ran to the window. Barred. Ancient iron bars. I was trapped. I grabbed a chair and smashed it against the window. The glass broke, but the bars held. The smoke was thick now, black, choking. I fell to my knees. This is it, I thought. The old witch did it. She's killing me. Then the door exploded. Not opened, exploded. Min-ho kicked it off its hinges. He was in his formal robes. He wrapped a wet towel around his face. "Amara!" He found me on the floor. He picked me up. He didn't run out. He turned to the hallway. Madame Kang was standing there, watching. She looked disappointed. Min-ho put me down gently. He was coughing, eyes streaming. He looked at his mother. He walked up to her. The guards tensed. "You tried to burn her," Min-ho rasped. "She is a weed. Weeds must be burned to let the flower grow." Min-ho pulled his gun. He pointed it at his mother. "Min-ho, no!" I screamed, my voice raw. "You touch my wife," Min-ho snarled. "You die. I don't care who you are." "Shoot me," Madame Kang challenged. "Commit matricide. Show the clan you are a beast." Min-ho's hand shook. He couldn't do it. It was the one line he couldn't cross. I stood up. I was dizzy, covered in soot. I walked over. I put my hand on Min-ho's gun. I lowered it. "No," I said. "She tried to kill you," he argued. "And if you kill her, you lose your soul. And I need your soul." I turned to Madame Kang. I leaned in close. "I missed," I whispered. "And now I'm taking your son. I'm taking your grandson. And I'm taking your legacy. You will die alone in this cold house, and we will be happy." I grabbed Min-ho's hand. "We're leaving," I said. "Now." We left Busan that night. Min-ho was silent. He had lost his mother, essentially. He had chosen me over the bloodline. But the war wasn't over, because Madame Kang didn't just have knives. She had secrets. 2 days later, the news broke. Not in the papers, in the underworld. A rumor, a leak. Sam is not the son of the dragon. Sam is the son of the enemy. I stared at the message on Min-ho's phone. "What is this?" I asked. "My mother," Min-ho said, his voice dead. "She is spreading lies. She is telling the other families that Sam is illegitimate, that his father is—" He couldn't say it. "Who?" I asked. "Park Jin-young," he whispered. "The man who tried to kill us 3 years ago. The man she hated." "That's impossible. The timeline. I never met him." "I know," Min-ho yelled, smashing his fist on the table. "I know, but the families, they love a scandal. And if Sam is not my blood, he is not the heir. And if he is not the heir, he's a target." We had to prove it, again, to the Council of Elders. We stood in the boardroom, 5 old men, Min-ho, me, and Sam. Madame Kang was there via video link, looking smug from her deathbed. "The test," the elder demanded. We had done a fresh one, independent lab. The elder opened the envelope. He read it. He frowned. He looked at Min-ho, then at Madame Kang. "It is a match, 99.99%.
Kang Min-ho is the father. Madam Kang gasped on the screen. Impossible. I paid the lab to... The screen cut to black. You paid the lab, Min-ho asked the blank screen. Mother, I own the lab. He turned to the elders. My mother admitted to tampering. She admitted to treason against the family. The elders nodded grimly. She is stripped of rank, the elder announced. Kang Min-ho is the supreme leader. We walked out. Min-ho held Sam's hand. I held Min-ho's arm. We won. But as we walked to the car, Min-ho leaned down to me. That was too easy, he whispered. What do you mean? My mother never loses without a backup plan. We got in the car. Min-ho turned the key. Click. Nothing happened. Then a voice came over the car's Bluetooth. It wasn't Madam Kang. It was a voice I hadn't heard in 3 years. Hello, Tiana. Marcus, my ex. Did you miss me? I looked at Min-ho. I thought he was in prison. He escaped, Min-ho said, checking the door locks. They wouldn't open. I made a deal with your mother, Min-ho, Marcus laughed. She gets the legacy, I get the girl, and you get the boom. Min-ho looked at the dashboard. A timer, red digital numbers, 0030, 0029. Bomb, Min-ho shouted. Get out! The doors were jammed, child locks engaged, electronic override. Break the window! Min-ho smashed his elbow against the glass. It was bulletproof. It didn't break. 0015. Sam started crying. Mommy! I looked at Min-ho. We were trapped in a bulletproof coffin with 10 seconds left. Min-ho looked at me. He grabbed my hand. I love you, he said. I love you, I whispered. 0003, 0002, 0001. Did we die? You'll have to listen to the next chapter to find out. But I'll tell you this. Marcus Robinson made one mistake. He forgot who built this car. And he forgot that dragons breathe fire.